Okay, so this video is pretty overdue. I've been meaning to make it before our train line travel trip and before I actually went to tropical islands. Now, I got a lot of questions from a lot of people saying, why the heck would you go to somewhere like tropical islands when, from judging a book by its cover, it looks like the most mass tourism joint that you could possibly be at, and extremely unsustainable. And to be honest, my first impression was, you know what, maybe it is unsustainable and I'm not going to be able to write a single blog post about it because this isn't what I believe in and this is not what my travel blog is all about. Luckily and thankfully, I was extremely impressed with the marketing department of Tropical Islands, though they don't use it in their marketing right now, and I think it would be a really good idea to use it as a promotional factor to get other people and different types of tourists coming to Tropical Islands. There are actually a lot of reasons why Tropical Islands is sustainable and why I chose to make this place my first destination on our train line travel trip. But I want to show you guys that just because something's not green and in the middle of the wilderness doesn't mean that it's not sustainable. It's what went into it and how it's being run now that makes it sustainable. So if they were to just build this bubble from nowhere in the middle of a city and hope that it would be sustainable, it probably wouldn't be. But because this was actually previously used as an airplane hangar, people left this place abandoned, the government was paying for it, and there was no need to have this massive bubble. So Tropical Islands actually came in, purchased the place, and built the island from there. So they have been able to hire, I think, almost over 500 people from the local communities, bringing in more income and more job security and more opportunity for the people of this city. And it's not actually in Berlin, it's about 60 kilometers south of Berlin. So it is a small town. The thing was already built and it's in the middle of nowhere. So it's not right across the street from people's properties. And it really is helping support the local environment. Some of their food that they've purchased is from local farmers. And my last meal there was an asparagus, potato, delicious dinner. And all of it was purchased from local farmers. So this is definitely huge in the world of sustainability. And it's not about going into the middle of a rainforest and saying I'm sustainable because I'm not engaging in different activities, maybe like going go-karting or something like this. But everything in the bubble, it's sustainable, and it is. And people need to know that you have to stop judging a book by its cover, because just because it looks like it's not sustainable doesn't mean that it's not. So I've come up with a list to try to explain this better and get you thinking about what's sustainable and what's not sustainable, and stop painting that picture of it being eco-friendly or not eco-friendly, and that's what sustainability is all about. So there are effects of travel, both positive and negative, and to create sustainable travel, of course, it's important to focus on the positives. So in terms of economic effects, it can create jobs and provide opportunity for small scale businesses. In this case, it definitely created jobs, and it's not a small scale business, but it's a business that was built up from the ground and is now becoming a huge success. The opposite of that is that it could create roads, tours, and accommodations being built and destroying natural habitat. Now, this was already built by something in the past, so it's not actually destroying anything. It is just using what was already there and recycling. So can't get much better than that. The social effects of travel: it can encourage preservation of traditional customs, provide more infrastructure and leisure amenities, and can help raise awareness of current issues. Now, they do pretty much all three. The prevention of, preservation, of traditional customs. They're serving a lot of different German foods and embracing certain local culture and local customs, and it's wonderful to see them doing this. And the infrastructure and leisure amenities, of course, are offering that. People who weren't able to get all the way to Berlin from where they were can now visit. And it's not just Germans, but it's very close to the Czech Republic and Poland as well. So you'll find a lot of tourists coming from this area too. The negative side of social travel or social effect would be quality of life might decrease. Sometimes there could be crowding, drugs, and prostitution. In this case, it's in a bubble and there's security everywhere, and this is not the case with tropical islands. There's possibility of increased crime rate, or building new laws and infrastructure can also diminish the local customs and traditions. This is more in terms of a city, so you have to think smaller. Things aren't being destroyed as they're in there. They've actually built up a tropical rainforest all from natural flora, and there's nothing fake in there. And lastly, we'll talk about the environmental effects. So to have a positive effect on the environment in travel, you can help promote conservation of wildlife and natural resources. They have all natural resources and certain wildlife within the bubble that can stay there and that are healthy to be staying within this bubble. There's nothing is captive or anything like this, so that's definitely not a worry. And it can also help generate funding for this conservation. So not even just the environment, but they're actually helping with a lot of social causes. Right now they're running a football, soccer tournament to help promote equality, and it's just they're giving back in their own special ways. And though they might not be promoting it as a sustainable travel organization, I think it's up to you guys to really do the research before you travel, because you really can't judge a book by a cover in this sense. And then the negative effects of environmental travel would be overuse of land. That's not the case. It was already built. And increased pollution, traffic, etc. Now, there's more cars coming into the area, but I don't think at this point it is anything to be worried about. So I hope that this helps, and I hope it gives you a better picture of what I'll be doing on this trip. I'm not actually going to eco resorts and saying, oh, like I'm living sustainably in a green eco resort, I'm eating like out of the ground, everything. I want to show you that you're a normal person. If you're from Canada, you only get 10 days of vacation, and I want to show you that those 10 days, of course they're yours. It's 10 days that you just want to chill, relax, and breathe. And it's not selfish to want to do that, because you're working every day of the year and then you get 10 days off. Of course, you would like to help support and make a difference, but in those 10 days, you should be giving yourself a break too. And this is what I want to show you, is that you can do whatever you wanted to do to help relax and kick back and give yourself a little me time while also being sustainable.